But it seems as if you are the first one to get the news about where the flower is. You are surprised when you get there how difficult it is for you to get the prophesied flower. Flower is for Samaritans, not Syrians. But to our surprise, when we get to the gate, there are Syrians at the gate, not Samaritans, but Syrians. You have to engage now in a battle to fight the Syrians who were not there when the prophecy was given, because these people, their duty is to study the words of Elisha the prophet. What is it that is likely going to say? Which location? Where is it? Then they went to sit at the gate, knowing that when their prophet prophesies, he's going to talk about that gate. 2 Kings 7 verse 1. Then Elisha said, "Hear the word of the Lord. Thus says the Lord, tomorrow about this time, a sale of flour shall be sold for a shekel, and 2 seahs of barley for a shekel, at the gate of Samaria." At the gate of Samaria. That's our scripture for tonight. The prophet is giving a prophecy and is directing his prophetic word to the gate of Samaria. There is a reason why Elisha directed his prophecy to Samaria. There was something that was happening at the gate. He was prophesying from Samaria, talking to the people of God who were tired of their situation. There was dryness, no water coming, no rains, until people were now eating their own children. Such a level of dryness that there's nothing to eat in the house, nothing to buy from the supermarket. So it was not a matter of whether you've got money or not. You're all just the same. Rich or poor, you're just the same. There's nothing to buy. So it was that moment where you don't know there's nothing to buy. Those who don't have money were just like those who had money. Imagine the situation that everyone else is just suffering the same thing. So politicians try to do what they can do, like what they normally do, even in our days. That there are situations, you can see that these situations are beyond the physical. You find a politician trying to address that situation. Promise people that just vote for me. This one, I will solve it for you. Yet you can see that this requires somebody who comes from a spiritual realm and address it, because the problem is not physical. It's a spiritual problem. So you have to get it that there are problems we go through that can be solved by other people who are not even spiritual. And there are certain problems that requires only spiritual intervention. You need some people who are spiritual to get into your life and bring stability, cause things to change. Samaria was going through such a situation that they needed somebody spiritual to speak. But because there were so many voices from people who were saying they can do it around, Elisha kept quiet, because there were people who were speaking in his days. He kept quiet until people were eating their own children. I want you to understand that Elisha did not come from another town into Samaria. He was in Samaria. The solution, a man who had God in him, was there in Samaria, seeing things going wrong, but he did not assist, because there were people promising the community. These are politicians. I'm talking about one of them is that officer who said to Elisha, what you are saying doesn't make sense. And Elisha said to him, you shall see it, but will not partake of it. Those were politicians and officers. They did not believe in what he said because they had their own ways of solving the matter, but it wasn't working. The prophet kept quiet because there were people speaking to the very same congregation that he's supposed to prophesy to. They had other sources of information, and that led him to close his mouth until they notice, until they figure out, until they discover that the source they have is a lie. We've got some lying sources of information. Not as long as they speak. No. As long as you keep on paying attention to them. The right source, which is Elisha, remain quiet. Elisha is not waiting for the wrong source to stop talking, because the wrong source will never keep quiet. Wrong sources never stop promising that I'm working on you, things are about to get better. They will never stop promising. He waited until the people stopped listening to a wrong source. Wrong voices are not going to be silent. Even in our generation, wrong doctrines will still be preached. But until the congregation decides not to attend places where wrong doctrines are taught, the right one will not say anything. It will keep quiet because you're still interested in that. So never think there will be a moment where the wrong source of information will run dry. Never. Never. There's no moment like that. They will keep on sharing what they want you to know until you stop listening. You don't stop them from talking, you stop them from, you stop listening. Your duty is to stop listening. Don't try to stop them from talking. That's not your duty, and you will never be successful in that. Until two women decided to take their matter to the king, saying to him, yesterday we agreed to eat my child, and we promised to eat her child today. But it's happening that her child is nowhere to be found. And I know this woman is lying. She knows where the child is. She just doesn't want us to eat a child today. The women gave up on the matter. When they agreed, the king was not there. They agreed somewhere else. But there is a moment where they said, we are tired of this situation. We cannot continue eating our children. Let us take this matter to the king and face him and tell him that, say, we are no longer interested in what is going on in the community. You have to get to that point whereby you say, I'm tired. Sometimes getting strong, I will tell you this, I know is different from most of teachings that we have had before, where we are taught to be strong. There are times where getting tired losing strength is actually a solution. The more you keep on holding to certain situations, you realize that you eat your firstborn and you say things are going to get better. Let me keep on. The next day you eat your secondborn. The third day you eat your thirdborn. Until all your children are gone. Because you're not giving up. These ones gave up and they said, we can't go for the second child. Let us take this matter to the king. Guess what? To the king, it was breaking news. It was a surprise. He didn't know that this is happening. He was not aware. If they decided to kill that second child and eat, it was their loss. So they decided to take it to the king after giving up. It's not everything in life that you are encouraged to keep on holding on. Certain things, just give up. You deliver yourself. I will tell you this, that giving up is not a weakness. It's a strength. That's why it is easy for most people to hold on. Very few people give up. And when you give up, people, they call you weak, not knowing that is a strength. I will show you this. What happened to Jesus when he was on the cross? The Bible says he gave up his ghost, his spirit. Jesus gave up his spirit. For him to be dead, it was just after making a decision to give up. If Jesus had kept on holding, say, I'm not going to lose my life, where was salvation going to come from? Even salvation is as a result of a man saying, I can't hold it anymore. Am I making sense? Can you see that you can save generations? You can save your own life just by giving up. You can see that you are dying in a place, but you don't just want to let it go. You can see that this relationship is going nowhere, but you don't just want to give up. For your own information, most people who left places first had more value, received more honor than those who remained. Let's say you're in a relation, you can see that there's nothing here. Then you decide to be the first one to text a message and say, I'm out. That person you leave will never look at you as a cheap person, but as a person who knows what you want in life. Huh? So certain situations, we are just encouraged to remain there, but it's not worth it. It's not worth it. Jesus gave up and he died. He later said, no one took my life. I gave my life. I killed myself and I resurrected myself. What is killing yourself? Is that not like a defeat? It's a defeat. He said, before I raised myself, I suffered a defeat and I allowed it. You don't want to be defeated. According to Jesus, if he had kept on holding on to life, he was not going to be victorious. He lost to win. It's not every time where you have to win to be called a winner. Sometimes you lose to be a winner. Those who follow soccer, you can tell that there are times whereby even in the final match in a tournament, a team will lose. But after that 90 minutes, you'll be surprised when they are counting points. And you will see a trophy being handed over to the team that lost on that day. Because it gained more points in the past. In the past, don't bury your past. In the past, there are points you got. Like a David, the experience of the wilderness matters most to defeat Goliath in the future. Even though your past is full of a mess, there are still good things there that you can pick up. Count points, you realize that you are a champion. A champion. You are a champion. Don't look at you in a negative way. Always look at yourself in a positive. Whether you messed up, but still there are good things you did in the past. You have to celebrate yourself. You appreciate yourself that at least I was able to achieve 1, 2, 3. Not everyone was able to do that. I did this because I have got a strength. I'm not a weak person. So you see Jesus hanging on the cross, and he's giving up his spirit. Don't call him a weak man. He is not. He knows what he's doing. You'll be surprised after that he's called a winner. A winner who gave up in life and he lost his life. There are things now you have suffered and suffered, suffered and suffered. You don't want to give up. I know I'm not talking about marriage. I'm not talking about marriage is a prison. There are scriptures there. The keys are not there to unlock the door for you to leave. No keys. I'm talking about other things in life. Just give up. You do yourself a favor when you give up. They presented themselves to the king. He was surprised and he tore his clothes. After doing that, the prophet Elisha in the city picked it in the spirit that something is just gone wrong. The king is now naked. No one told Elisha about the situation. God told him. Immediately when the king was naked, God started to talk, not to the king, but to his prophet. When the covering was lifted from the body of a king, somebody was made aware by God that the king has lost his covering. Is no longer covered. God, why? And God said, because of the situation in the city. Then the prophet, he knew what he has to do. He rose up, he gathered some people. That moment when the king came for him, he had some people around him. Then he opened his mouth to release a declaration, a prophecy, to say tomorrow by this time there shall be flour, barley at the gate of Samaria. The man is mentioning the gate of Samaria as if he doesn't know who's sitting on the gate. He was fully aware that the time Ben-Hadad tried, Syria tried to attack Israel, Elisha told the army to prepare until they wanted to know if there is a spy among one of them telling the Israelites what they are planning. So this time Ben-Hadad decided to sit by the gate, make sure that no one goes in, no one leaves the place. He besieged Samaria. This is a prophet in the city. He's giving a prophecy as if he's not aware of where Ben-Hadad is. He then said, tomorrow flour will be at the gate. And we are all aware that at the gate, that's where the enemy is. That's what I want to explain just a bit to you tonight and defeat this type of a demon. This is a demon that I've seen in the afternoon today. This kind of a spirit, it operates in a very, very funny way. It does not sit on people. It does not sit on everybody. There are individuals that it sits on. And those individuals are not people that are praying unto God. Those individuals are not people that are asking God for mercy. This demon has nothing to do with prayer. It has nothing to do with the one praying. What it do is that it sits to listen when one is praying. If your flower is going to appear at the gate of Samaria, what it does is it leaves everybody to be free inside Samaria and sit at the gate of Samaria. Knowing that flower, when the prophet is prophesying from the cities of Samaria, he's not going to tell you about the flower inside Samaria, but the flower at the gate of Samaria. Before he gives a prophecy, already at the location of that prophecy, you'll be surprised when you get there. There are people who are demons. They've been there already before you. But it seems as if you are the first one to get the news about where the flower is. You are surprised when you get there how difficult it is for you to get the prophesied flower. Flower is for Samaritans, not Syrians. But to our surprise, when we get to the gate, there are Syrians at the gate, not Samaritans, but Syrians. You have to engage now in a battle to fight the Syrians who were not there when the prophecy was given, because these people, their duty is to study the words of Elisha the prophet. What is it that is likely going to say? Which location? Where is it? Then they went to sit at the gate, knowing that when their prophet prophesies, he's going to talk about that gate. That's why now you are given a prophetic word. You get to the month that was prophesied, the week that was prophesied, the day you were prophesied, and you are surprised to find devils waiting for you in that hour. You wonder, where are demons coming from? Because when God spoke to me, I thought he was talking to me alone. I didn't know that God was holding a microphone and even demons were listening. You have to fight battles. I'm telling you, I'm teaching you. You have to fight battles. Prophecy cannot just manifest without battles. Prophecy is fought for. You fight for a prophetic word when it's given. If God declares that this week, I'm bringing confusion to horses, I'm bringing madness to the rider, you don't sit at home waiting for you to what? You fight battles for that to happen. Am I talking to somebody in this place? You have a prophet prophesying from God and not see any fruit and not see any manifestation. Why? Because your hands are folded. David was anointed without a fight. But for him to sit on the throne, he had to fight a Goliath. When I anoint you for free without a battle, know that after that, Before you celebrate your testimony, you have to fight a demon. These are Syrian type of demons. They sit in the very same place of a prophetic word. I'm teaching you this because you've got a prophet in this place. You have to understand how the prophetic works. Prophecy is not for people who are afraid of battles. My Bible says, and God knew a quicker way to Canaan. But he decided to take them on a longer route because he was not sure. That's what the Bible says. Because he was not sure if the Israelites were going to stand a battle. So the reason they lasted for 40 years in the wilderness, God was preparing them to face their enemy. He was building boldness and courage in them. That when they crossed Jordan, remember, when they crossed Jordan, they started fighting battles. If these people had told God when they left Egypt that God, we want our Canaan and we want it now. We don't care and we are not even afraid of anyone who's standing in front of us. We are ready to fight. We are not just ready for deliverance. We are ready to fight. God was going to take them on a shorter route. And in 14 days, these people would be in their Canaan. But 40 years, God was looking at them and he can see that the way they behave, they are not ready. But did Moses not prophesy to them when they were in Egypt that we are going to Canaan? He said Canaan. But look, God started to act as if he's fighting against his own prophet. The prophet said Canaan, but God took them to the wilderness. As if Moses lied. Moses, your prophet did not lie. But God looked into you and he realized that you are not ready to fight any battle. God saw that you are too humble. Some of you, you are supposed to be somewhere in life. Supposed to have your houses in Benfley. Houses in Bankenfield there. Where are you? You are still back there. Because God, after prophesying to you, He went to check your muscles. That's why on Sunday I said you are Jerusalem. God is about to make you a heavyweight. You mustn't be moved by anything. You have to become a heavyweight and be ready to fight battles. Am I talking to people in this place? Are you ready to fight? Are you prepared to fight? There's no, you see, when God says something, He cannot say something that is not ready to perform. But for years, God spoke to you. You see, what I like about prophecy is that even the one who prophesied to you, let's say he was lying. As long as you believed that he was not lying, that makes that prophecy true. So even prophecy by mistake, if it lands on a true heart, it becomes genuine. Am I making sense? If a man meets you in the street and say, my sister, God bless you, that's it. Whether he leaves you without saying a proper goodbye, it doesn't matter. You have blessed me and I want to see that blessing. Before I greet you again, I must have a testimony because of that blessing. Are we together? It's so easy to be blessed by God. We must just have somebody who comes to us and say good words. That's it. You know, some witches don't have to say negative words against you. No. There are words already you received, negative words already that you have in your system. All they do is to come and activate what you stored in your system. That's why I always teach people, don't remember any negative word they said again. Forget and ignore. Move on. You hold on to a word that said you will not make it for years. That's why anyone who is evil, when it gets closer to you, because of their evil spirit, their evil works, that evil negative word in you will start working. You start working. You lose. You rather make sure that you receive a special anointing that causes abortion to negative words. Don't remember what they said to some people. You meet them, they are 40, but they will say, there are words spoken to me when I was 10 years old. They said this. You still remember. You are holding on to a negative word that said you will not be pregnant, you will not be fruitful. You're still barren because of that word. When did they say that? How many pastors have come your way to bless you? How many people that have met in the city blessing you? The thing is, you still remember that word because it pained you. But the word that blessed you, you've forgotten. How can it work for you when it's out of your system? The poison that is not in your system will not kill you. Is that so? Poison has to be in your system for it to kill. Poverty has to be in you for it to affect you. Poverty is not from outside, it's from within. You have it. That's why there is no money. You don't start by making money, you start by losing poverty. You can look for money and not find it because you are looking for it was poor. Money is for people whom their first loss was poverty. You lose poverty first. You train yourself to be positive in life. If you see funny things happening, you tell yourself that this is not my standard. You start from there. You see a long queue on the shop, they are saying they are cheap clothes. There's a big sale, they are cheap clothes. You tell yourself that that's not my standard. That's where you start from. You get in a shop to buy a shoe. They serve you coffee. Not places whereby you are fighting. This one takes the right one, this one takes the left. Then you have to fight. That's my shoe. Just say, give me the left side. You say, give me the right side. You are fighting. That's poverty. I will tell you this. That's poverty. Because there are places when you get in there, there's a couch for you to sit. They offer you coffee. In fact, they ask you, what do you want? If they don't have, they'll go and buy for you. Before you make money, before you've got enough money to have that kind of a lifestyle, it starts in you tell yourself, you avoid certain places. I remember when we started, that was in 2015. There is a sermon I still remember. In 2015, there's a teaching I taught you one Sunday. Then I said, if you're a member of this ministry, and I see you queuing in downtown in these places, you're in trouble. There are places we belong. Whether you feel like I'm offending you, wait until you make money. Sitting on that chair, you are going to make money one day and you say, Prophet, you were talking, says, I didn't understand, but now I understand. Sit down. If I'm not ready, if I look at you and feel sorry for you and say, but what are they going to say? I will not deliver you. I will not deliver you. Even doctors wouldn't be treating people. They are afraid that an injection is painful. There are sermons like injection. They have to, if you want deliverance, they have to come. We have to inject you. Make you feel pain. And in that pain, you lose poverty. Never to regain it again. drive towards this Benfley. There are so many houses there. But when they started, there were not many. Now they moved from there to Bankenville. From there, they will move to another place. These people started somewhere, in one place with all of this. Then they started to separate themselves. Because that's what money can do. It will separate you. Separate themselves from the rest. Now they are in a business of running away from people. One will just start, build his house on top of a mountain. So that when he's standing at his balcony, he can see all of you. Whether he's not the mayor of town, but he can see your forehead, all of you. And the next one follows. Third one follows until it becomes a community of rich people.